Hey there, party people, Dandolf back here, and we are headed to another episode of Minecraft Let's Play. I hope you enjoyed our last episode with the world tour, and we're going to start something new in this episode. I've already made a little bit of a start here and kind of picked out the land that we're going to use, so I wanted to show you kind of what the concept, the core idea of what we're going to do here is. So if you take a look right over here, I've got a big magical tree for our entry archway for this area. So this is going to be a very big, a very, lush world. We're going to do a lot of really cool builds, and this is our, our first one here. And then over here, I plan on doing a hobbit hole, dug into the hill. Which, I've been working on terraforming this a little bit. Over here, we're going to do like a wizard's tower, and there's a lot of other things over here that we're going to build up. So I think this is going to be a really fun project. So I just kind of wanted to show you what we're doing. So I think I'm going to start working on the hobbit hole next, and I will kind of pop in as I've made some progress here. But this is looking really excellent. So to kind of show you what I've done here, I'm using these red glazed terracotta as kind of a fruit, and then these glowstone as a light source, and kind of make it look a little bit more magical. I've got some vines that are still growing in, and I think it's just going to look really, really cool. This is going to be a really fun project to work on, and I've been looking forward to a build only sort of thing. Everything else I have in this world is kind of functional, and this is going to be just for looks, just make it look as good as possible. And I think that's going to be a really fun project because I'm really, really inspired for this. So I will go ahead and get going on this, and I will see you guys in a few minutes once I've made some progress and I have kind of the start for a hobbit hole. See you guys in a bit. Hey there, party people. We are back, and I've made some progress. Actually, I've gotten a little out of hand and kind of finished the exterior of this build, and you can go ahead and expect that a lot of this episode. I'm going to be doing a lot of building this episode, so yeah, so I think this turned out really, really well. I went through a lot of renditions, and it took me a little while to get the interior portion here worked out. But I think once I kind of built out the whole thing, and once I added a little bit of color into this build, I think it really just started to pop, and it just really, really started to work. So let me kind of show you what we have going on here. Once we go in here, I don't have much done on the inside. I did go ahead and build the fireplace, and I did want to put one there, but I don't have one on me. So we have a campfire here. We have another one up there. You can't really see it, but that's what lets it go out the top there. So I don't have an interior yet, but I'll decorate this at some point here. I think I'll probably come back and decorate all the interiors at one time, but the the area is what I want to start getting built up, so we know what the whole place is going to look like, and really start getting things going here. So I think it turned out really well. I've got the chimney here. I've got the pathway coming in down here. Used lots of different things. The flowers and everything adds a little color. The lanterns. There's some vines running through here as well. We've got the chimney up here that's actually producing the smoke. There's that other campfire. And then, so what we're going to do is, in this area over here, there will probably be a few other hobbit huts, probably one over there, and definitely one here. Because when you walk through the entrance here, there's this big gap, and I definitely want to have another hobbit hut kind of in the background here. That's going to be fairly similar, but, of course, have its own similarity, differences, and, be unique in its own way. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and start working on the other things. But I think what we want to do next is mystical thing. I think I decided that the mystical thing will be our nether portal. So yeah, I'll get some blocks together, and once we have kind of a base here, and once I have an idea of what's going to happen, I'll pop back in. I'll let you know what's going to happen and what we're going to do, and I'll see you in a second. All right, party people, we are back, and we are going to go ahead and start working on our next project, which I think is going to be our nether portal. We've got our hobbit hut here and our entryway tree thing there. This will all, of course, get more filled in as we talked about. But so my idea for the portal was I want the bottom of it to start out real nice and black, and then it's going to gradiate to white. But this is way too many blocks. It's going to be a big portal, but this is way too many blocks. So I think that's going to turn out pretty well. I think that's a good gradient. I think it's a good color palette. It might look a little too busy, so we'll kind of have to see once it's in place because it's going to be fairly big. Like I have this whole section kind of dedicated for it, and I'm thinking the base of it will be at least, 15, 20 blocks wide, maybe a little bit more, and then we'll just kind of build it up and hope that it looks good. I'll see you guys in a second once I have a little bit in place. Alright guys, we are back and I've been working on the portal. Well, I've been working on one side of the portal and I think it's coming out pretty good so far. It definitely still needs some work, like that side and the back side. So it's, maybe halfway done on 1/4 of it. But I think it's making really good progress. So I'm trying to make it look a little bit more natural, trying to bring this out a little bit. This, of course, will be another portal in the middle, just in case I need to change the size. I haven't put the obsidian down yet. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. The back is very, very flat at the moment. Don't worry about that. That will get changed. But yeah, I think the color scheme is finally coming together. It took me a lot of variations of blocks, and you can see like in the ones we discussed before, there's some that aren't in there, and they're in kind of a different order as well, and I added one or two, but I think it's turning out pretty good. So what I need to do, I think, is build out the front a little bit more and kind of bring it out into like a little point almost here so that I can add more depth on this. And I think I'm trying to make it to where like the black stone kind of wraps around from the floor and goes up it, but it's kind of a little too staircasey right now. So I think I need to kind of go up a little bit and then arc it a little bit more in and kind of make it a little bit more domey so that it, curves a little bit better. But yeah, it's coming along pretty good so far. I will go ahead and keep working on this and let me know what you think. I'll check in with you once I've made more progress. See you guys in a bit. Alright guys, we are back, and I flew over that build a few times. I was really liking the way it looked, but the problem is it just wasn't really in the build style that I'm going for over here. It was too dark, it was too big. I will probably use this sort of a design somewhere else. It just didn't really fit within what I'm going for over here. So I'm tearing it down. But seeing what doesn't work does help find what does work. What I think I need to do is make something more colorful, a little more fun with a little bit more whimsy. This just wasn't turning out exactly the way I thought. I really, really liked the design and where it was going and how it was going to look in the end, but ultimately it just doesn't fit with these builds over here. So yeah, I have another idea, so I will come back to you after I'm done ripping this one out and putting a starting point for the new one in. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright people, we are back, and as you can see, the portal is much smaller and different than it was, but I think this is going to work for us. I went for all of the fancy shiny blocks, and I think it turned out pretty cool. It's not going to be like a huge staple feature like the other design was going to be, but I think this is going to serve our purpose really well. It's going to add a pop of color to our land here, and then once we get some more hobbit holes in here, which one's probably going to go here, and then we're definitely having another one here, that's really going to work really nicely, because then that will help turn our path this way while still making it kind of a feature, but also not making it kind of overwhelming. So I think that's going to be pretty good. So I just want to add some stairs to it, and then I'll probably start working on another build here. So I definitely want to do the polished andesite stairs because that's what we have on the base there. I'm not sure what I'm going to build next. It might be another hobbit house, or I might start working on the wizard house. I'm not really sure yet. But we'll go ahead and see what happens here in a few minutes when I, actually want to start building it. But I have a bunch of resources. I'll probably clean up a little bit, put my stuff away, and, meet you back once I start doing something. Oh, this one's upside down too. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool design. And I think it looks really nice. So I'll go ahead and leave that for now, and if we want to make alterations to it later, we can. But I think that's a really good addition to our to the start of our fantasy village here. I think everything's going well so far, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, party people, we are back, and I have still yet to do any interiors, but we've made a lot of progress here, so let's take a look. I went ahead and finished out the other 3 hobbit huts, so let's take a look at them. I think this area is looking really, really nice here. So this is the one to the left of the original one. The original one's right there. And I used the magenta stuff as opposed to the blue stuff. I don't remember the names of them. Crimson Stairs, maybe? But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. The inside is pretty similar to the other one. We've got a little fireplace and some interior. I didn't do the stairs here. I wanted them each to be a little bit different, so there's a little bit more room in this one. And then if we come over here, this is the original one we built, still looking real nice. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. And then, as you know, we tore down the other portal and we put in this one here, and I think it's looking really good. It may eventually move because it's a little close to this now, and I need to get this build in, which is what I'm going to do next. Oh, hello, Pigman. Would you like to wander around my new area? Anyways, so yeah, I think it's looking pretty good, but it may end up moving. It may end up getting bigger. I'm not really sure. It's not 100% permanent, but I think it looks good for now. And then the third one, I wanted to, you know, kind of test myself and build one on a diagonal, and I think it turned out pretty good. I like the way it looks. Let me know what you think, but I think it fits in really well. And then you've got a nice double door here, and this is the biggest interior here, but it was the same dimensions, but when you build on a diagonal, things just tend to get bigger. Then I've got a fireplace in here as well. All the interiors are to come, but you know, I kind of want to get, you know, at least one more build in here before I start doing that. But I think it's looking really nice here, so let me go ahead and fly around and we can take a look at this. Yeah, so I think this is looking really, really nice here. Got the big tree, got the hobbit huts on the left here, and then we're going to have a big wizard house here is what we're going to do next. That's what's on the sign here, wizard house. And we're going to go ahead and build that up here. I think it's going to be multiple layers. It's going to be real nice and wonky, and each layer is probably going to be like a different color of wood and, you know, just kind of make it look real funky. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a fun build. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that, and I'll probably pop in once I have a little bit of work done there, and I will see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, we are back here, and I have made some progress on the wizard tower. I've kind of got my foundation in place, and the detail is to come. So let's take a look. So as you can see, I've made it nice and wonky. I might take away these support pillars at some point. I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I like them or not yet. Don't worry, it's not going to be this boxy. I just wanted to kind of get a different palette in for each zone. And then the roof. The roof is really what's going to make this build. And that's really where I'm going to start getting my focus going on here. So ultimately, I want each platform to kind of have its own roof. I want them all to be kind of in the same style, which is going to be tall and pointy and kind of curvy, just like the tower here. So they'll be kind of shorter at the bottom, and as it goes up, each roof is going to get taller. So this last roof is going to be pretty tall, and it's almost going to look like a wizard's hat, I think. And that's kind of the hope, is to make this seem like a wizard house. And I think you do that by bringing in elements of something that you recognize pretty easily, and I think a wizard's hat would be a pretty cool detail on this. It's not exactly going to be a wizard's hat, but it's gonna you know, resemble one. I think that'll be sort of my inspiration. But yeah, I think the build is looking pretty cool. I've got it done on all four sides the exact same way, basically, just, you know, randomizing the different block patterns, and, you know, yeah. So I'm not sure about these pillars yet. I'll figure that out as the build continues on. I kind of like the fence ones better, so maybe I'll switch those other ones to fences, because I think it just looks silly that it's on those little poles, and, you know, I think that makes it look a little bit more interesting. Maybe I'll even go to iron bars to make it even smaller, so maybe I'll try that. The inside is a little bit interesting. There's nothing in here yet, but it's actually kind of fun to go up through this thing, because everything is accessible. So we're going to go into each room there, you know. There is a little bit of space, and I will detail this out when I do all the other interiors, but I think it's looking pretty good so far, and we've got a nice, fun little build going. Windows everywhere, and, you know, cool stuff. I guess I could try and sneak out here if I wanted to. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to keep detailing this up and, you know, make it fit within our area here. Got to get the grass going, got to get the path to it. But yeah, I definitely need to get the roof going, because this is just a flat box. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes once I have made some progress on the roof. See you in a second. All right, party people, we are back, and let me tell you, I'm excited to show you what I'm about to show you. I finished off the roofs, and I think it looks just super amazing. So here you go. I think it turned out really, really awesome. I'm super happy with how this went. There's a few spots that I still kind of want to figure out a little bit something to do with. Of course, I need to make the path and, probably build something up around it that's a little magical as well, kind of accent the house a little bit. But I have this big open underneath floor here. I don't know if I just want to leave it or not. I think it kind of looks okay. But yeah. And then over here, it's just a lot of brown. It's pretty dark, so I don't know if I'm going to do something there either. But I think it turned out really good. Let me get in air so you can get a better look at this thing. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. I'm super happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I think this is going to be the last build we do in this episode. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up these paths, and I'll see you back in a second. We'll wrap things up. See you guys in a minute. All right, party people, we are back, and let's take one last look. I finished off the path, and I put a few, points of interest around the front of this. I don't want to do too much around the back yet because I'm not sure how that part of this land is going to look yet. So, but yeah, I'm just so happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. So I wanted to pop in and go ahead and let you know what the next plan is. So this portal just doesn't really work. It's kind of in the way. Doesn't fit the color palette, doesn't fit the theme. Not really gonna work. So next episode we are going to start working on probably somewhere in this area because it's going to be fairly large, like a giant beanstalk that the portal is going to be like woven into. So you'll go like you'll walk into the beanstalk to go like for your portal, and then the beanstalk will grow up high into the air. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really cool design. It's going to be kind of like woven into the roots of it almost. So yeah, I'm excited to build that, and it's going to kind of go in that area. So we'll start expanding our magical area out that way, and this will just be torn down. My portal on the roof hopefully will link up. I'm going a few blocks that way. If I need to remake that one, I will. But not a problem. So yeah, I want to say... yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this new fantasy magical area, and I'm having a lot of fun building it. So my name's Dandolph. I've been having a lot of fun playing this with you guys, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one, party people.